Example 4. An investor saves P ringgit in a bank each year and the interest R% per year he receives is kept in the bank. Show that at the end of the 8 years, the total amount accumulated including the interest for 8 years is, so we have the expression. So this is actually the expressions for T8. Okay, then if the interest paid by the bank is 6% per year, find the amount which must be kept each year so that the accumulated amount at the end of the 8 years is 30,000. Okay, so we have two questions accordingly through this example 4. The first one that we need to show that, okay, at the end of the 8 years we should have this expression. So this is actually the expressions of a T8. And then the second one is we need to find the amount which must be kept each year so that the accumulated amount at the end of the 8 years is 30,000. So this is actually some kind of investment plan. So the first things that we're going to do is, of course, we're going to find the first three terms in order to identify the terms, the eighth terms. So the first terms here, okay, the first term here we should have, okay, accordingly. So since we know that this is actually the some kind of investment, should be, so our T1 here should be start a year after the investment had been made. So we should have P plus with, we should have the interest which is R over 100 multiply with P. Okay, then from here we can factorize P as having the 1 plus with R over 100. Okay, and then so this is actually the expressions of our T1, okay, which is our first terms, and the second terms which is T2, which is coming on the second year after the investment. So it should be start from the T1, okay, which means that since we know that the value of P here is actually had been saved yearly, so so therefore on the second terms we should have the value of P as well, which is plus with T1, okay, and then multiply the interest which is 1 plus with R over 100. Okay, so the same procedure we just made from the first terms. Okay, the second term is we have to multiply with the interest which is 1 plus R over 100. Okay, and then according to this we have to substitute the expressions of T1 accordingly. So here T1 I'm gonna substitute with the expressions of P times with 1 plus R over 100. Then I should have P plus with P multiplied with 1 plus R over 100. So this one I should multiply with the interest of 1 plus R over 100. So before I start multiplying this interest, so I'm going to factorize P as having 1 plus, okay, 1 plus with 1 plus R over 100, okay, which is multiplied with 1 plus R over 100. Then I'm going to expand this as having the 1 plus R over 100 plus with 1 plus R over 100 squared. Okay, so this is actually the terms of my second terms, okay, the expressions for my second terms. Now according to the first two terms, okay, we can make a prediction for our third terms. Okay, since we have the first term is actually P times with 1 plus R over 100, and the second term is actually we just have some kind of sequence here, series, some kind of series, first two terms, which is 1 plus R over 100 plus with 1 plus R over 100 squared. So therefore for the third terms, okay, I'm going to have the same thing here, which means that I'm going to have a 3 terms instead of 2 terms for my third terms. Okay, then I should have P 1 plus R over 100 plus 1 plus with R over 100 squared plus with 1 plus with R over 100 cubed accordingly. So since we know that until third terms we should have this one, therefore we can predict also for terms 8 as having the 1 plus R over 100 plus with 1 plus R over 100 squared plus until we should have the last term as 1 plus R over 100 to the power of 8. Okay, so now as we may concern that this is actually our geometric series. Okay, so this is geometric series, then we can use the formula of geometric series, E multiply with r to the power of n minus 1 over r minus 1. Since we know that our r value is actually greater than 1, because the r value is 1 plus r over 100. Okay, then from here we should have the p multiply with, so we just use the expression, the formula of geometric series. So our a value should be equivalence to 1 plus, so so a value we should have equivalence to 1 plus r over 100. Okay, and the r value also is 1 plus r over 100. Okay, so we just substitute into the formula accordingly. So we should have 1 plus r over 100, okay, multiply with 1 plus r over 100 to the power of 8 minus 1, okay, and then divided by r minus 1, which is we should have 1 plus with r over 100 minus 1. So this should be finished. Then here we should have p multiply with 1 plus r over 100 multiply with 1 plus r over 100 to the power of 8 minus 1 divided by r over 100. Okay, and again this r over 100 we can simplify as p multiply with 100 over r times with 1 plus r over 100, okay, times with 1 plus with r over 100 to the power of 8 minus 1. Okay, and lastly we should expand accordingly this one. Okay, we should expand accordingly this one. Therefore we have the expression of p times with 1 plus with 100 over r times with 1 plus r over 100 to the power of 8 minus 1. So we just shown that, okay, we just shown that it is our expressions of T8 is true. So we just need to write it as a shown. Okay, then the next thing is we would like to find the amount at the end of the 8 years. Okay, so the amount which must be kept in order to get 30,000 for 8 terms. Okay, so given that the 6%, okay, we just have a 6% of interest, so therefore our r value should be equals to 6, and our T8 is actually equivalent to 30,000. So therefore we're going to use this expression. Okay, we're going to use this expression in order to find the value that should be kept, which is the value of p. Okay, which means we should have 30,000 is equals to p times with 1 plus with 100 over 6, 1 plus with 6 over 100 to the power of 8 minus 1. Okay, then I should simplify this as having p is equals to 30,000. Okay, so this one we should have, saya simplify ni dulu. Okay, I should have 30,000 is equals to p, here I should have 106 over 6 times with 1 plus with 106, sorry. So this is actually 6 over 100, then I should have 100 over 6 over 100. Okay, 100 over 6 over 100 to the power of 8 minus with 1. Okay, therefore I should have the value of p, which is equivalent to 30,000 divided by 106 over 6 times with 106 over 100 to the power of 8 minus 1. And therefore here you should have the value of P, which is equivalent to 2860. Okay, to 2860. And you have to write it as the amount that must be kept each year is RM 2860.